Recorded live with little or no editing, it's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? We were just having an in-depth discussion in between recording these videos, and if you want to be a part of it, be sure to find me on Twitch Tuesdays and Thursdays. I've been doing a lot of bonus streams too lately. I got a busy schedule, but I do like to stream a lot, as much as possible, in fact. And we have a great time on Twitch. It's free. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can even subscribe to channels. It's a lot of fun. Come find us. Links are in the description. We grade on 5 different criteria here at Defense Up. It's who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. Team number 1 is some hot garbage that's probably going to get rolled over. So this is like an Inhumans hybrid Coulson team that we usually see a lot, except we've got Ultron in here instead of like a Silver Surfer or something. Maybe somebody glances at this and thinks that that's Surfer without really noticing. Could pull in a slightly bigger team than what you want. I think this Black Bolt is throwing off your power level size, and if they do notice Ultron in here, they're probably going to punch down into this thing, not take any chances, and roll over it. Depending on what level of war you're at, this could net you a DV, or it's just going to get slapped down. You know, like if you're the small guy, this is probably going to get slapped down, and you might be able to use some of these tunes better on offense. However, Raider, Striker, Skirmisher, Raider, I can deal with these ISOs. They look good. I can give you an A for this team. I think maybe you could use Ultron in a different spot. Or maybe he's just plug and play trying to boost this team up a little bit. I don't know. I think it's okay, though. I'll give you an A for it. It's not bad. It's not bad. All right, moving on to team number 2 is a Brotherhood with Ghost. You replaced Pyro with Ghost. Okay, Pyro is prolonging the negative effects that this team throws out there. I don't think those blinds will still be up by the time Pyro takes her second turn. However, you've got everybody throwing out vulnerables so that no matter who Ghost attacks, she's rewinding their turn meter. This team is actually all about Ghost. And I think you've built it to be all about Ghost. Like, everybody here is just putting out vulnerables. I'd like to see Juggernaut as a Raider. I think he does better as a Raider. But, you know, you've already invested level 5 Skirmisher for Juggernaut, so is what it is. I don't really know why you would go Skirmisher on Juggernaut. I don't know if he's doing a lot more other than just damage. So Raider would be better for me because then he would throw out more vulnerables, or have the chance to at least. And then you've got Raider on Toad. I'd like to see him a level 5 Skirmisher. It's almost like you've got these ISOs reversed, really, is what's going on here. Skirmisher on Blob, he's going to be retaliating quite a bit. Not all the time, but quite a bit, throwing out more vulnerables. And then Magneto doing more vulnerables and blinds. So yeah, this is really just about a big, powerful Ghost double tapping into all those vulnerables. I think it's great. I think it works. I think it's going to be more powerful than having Pyro in here. It could catch somebody off guard too, because this power level is a little bit deceiving. So I like the way you have it built. I'm going to go A-. I would like you to swap those ISOs right there, but it's not a total waste. You can run it as is if you want to just leave it, you know, it's not terrible. I just think it'd be more effective. If Toad has that level 5 Skirmisher, it gives him the focus boost to really clear positive effects on the other team. And he will be doing that, so it's kind of important. Team number 3 is Wave 1 Avengers with Doc Ock. Okay, Doc's putting out some deflex on this team, and you have Hulk as a striker. Huh. Okay, normally we see Hulk as a healer on this team. The trick is that your tanks get so big and heal themselves so much, and the taunt just passes back and forth between them that you time out and can't seem to beat them. Doc Ock is just making that a little bit more frustrating. Honestly, I think you should swap places and go Captain America, Doc, and then Hulk, and then Captain Marvel and Thor. And if you're gonna leave Hulk as a striker, you gotta get somebody putting some vulnerables out there, because you've got no one doing that right now. 3 strikers, no vulnerables. Let's change Thor to a Raider. He's better as a Raider. He has AoE and chain attacks all over the place. He's gonna be putting out lots of vulnerables. We don't know what we're doing with Captain Marvel at the time of this recording. By the time you're watching this recording, it's probably 2 days into the patch, and we know damn well what to do with her. But right now, I'm suggesting people just leave her as a striker. We'll see how she plays out on her team. I know we have those stats out at this time, but I don't like to go off of stats. I like to wait until Scopely has actually done a thing, because Scopely says a lot and does some different things than what we expect. And remember, it's like what Mobile Gamer says. There's the way the kit reads, the way they intend it to work, and the way it actually works in game. So we'll see. All right. So for me, I don't like all the strikers, no vulnerables. I'm not sure about the placement, and I'm not sure Doc Ock is adding a lot to this team. I kind of like taking Captain America and Doc Ock and putting it with the SA. All those deflects, all those people blocking and taunting, and that team times out great. But this is okay. I'm gonna go with a B with it. I think there's better things to do, better ISOs and better placement. Team number 4 is the Symbiotes. Looks good enough for me, you get an A. Team number 5 is the Web Warriors. Looks good enough for me, you get an A. Moving on is team number 6, Heroes for Hire. Yeah, looks good enough for me, I guess. I like switching him over to a skirmisher or a raider because there's so much heal block coming into this team. There was a big discussion in between videos about pulling Shang-Chi off of your Heroes for Hire and using him on offense. So what kind of seems like we should be doing is keeping it as a 5-piece, especially in Hire and Wars. If you want to pull Shang-Chi off and use him on offense, if you need that offensive victory, I understand. Be sure you know what you're doing. Apparently, if you do not have all Heroes for Hire, Luke Cage does not taunt when somebody drops below 50%. I was thinking that if we put JJ in here in place of Shang-Chi that it would work. Of course, JJ is going to go to the A-Force anyway, so that wouldn't matter. Just be very careful if you're pulling Shang-Chi off. It looks like maybe that's not the best thing to do because there's just so many counters that can come into the 4-piece H for H and still beat them. You might be debilitating too good of a team. I like seeing wonky power levels like this. I'd like to see Luke Cage with 1 gold ring around him, making it more aesthetically pleasing to the eye when somebody glances at it and thinks, 679, oh, okay, I can go into that with my 679 Dark Hunters or something, and then Shang-Chi just like blows him up because he's so much bigger that they can't even beat his resistance or whatever. So let's get 1 gold ring on him. Consider changing that ISO. I doubt it's really worth it, but you could consider it. And then this team is going to stomp some people otherwise. So it's pretty good. I'll still give you the A for it, but there are some changes that you could make if you want to spend those resources. Team number 7 is Doom Mercs. It's a little bit lopsided. Honestly, I think we should change these 2 Mercs to Striker. No. No, we have Striker on Taskmaster. He's already level 5. Let's go. That's kind of weird. You got 2 Strikers, nobody putting out vulnerables. Let's go 2 Skirmishers then. Just make them level 1 Skirmishers. Don't even waste the ions or whatever. I know they're kind of squishy, but anything coming into this team is going to blow up your Mercs to be big enough to get that Doom anyway. Zemo Factor does it. You've got Shadowlands does this very well. You've got lots of counters that can blow this up. It's probably going to get rolled no matter what. I kind of am not a big fan of Doom Mercs anymore unless the Mercs are really, really big. If the Mercs are really, really big, it can be a tricky team to get through, but I don't think your Mercs are big enough, and I don't think the Mercs are worth investing. So we may want to consider an entirely different build. You're wasting your Taskmaster as a striker with no vulnerables on the field. You're also wasting your Doom with no vulnerables on the field. So consider who you want to switch to get some vulnerables. Maybe break this team up entirely and just try something different. I don't know. I'm going to go with a B- on this. I just don't like the way you're going, and it needs a lot of work to function properly. Team number 8 is the full YA. I would like to see you swap places with Ms. Marvel and Squirrel Girl. I like to see Squirrel Girl sped up if you're using the full 5-piece. I want Squirrel Girl to get to her cleanse as rapidly as possible, and if she's ability blocked, it means she's got to take 1 extra turn to get there. So, you know, shortening the first turn helps with that. It makes it a much trickier team. What we're hearing is that like a 1 million full YA negates some of the counters and you just can't do it anymore. So if the closer you get to 1 million, the more important it is for you to swap that. Because like right now, it looks like you're probably on the cusp of a Zemo Factor team being able to beat this. And if you can get her to her cleanse that much faster, it makes it that much harder of a matchup. So let's get a placement swap. The ISOs are okay. I don't know why you have Echo as a skirmisher to place more vulnerables, I guess. Which is kind of weird because no matter what, if they are attacking, they have a vulnerable out there from Ms. Marvel. As long as you have the T4 in Ms. Marvel, she places a vulnerable for these guys to attack in, so you don't need her to place more vulnerables unless you just want the extra damage or you want her to clear positive effects, I guess. It's okay. I'm going to go A- on this team. I definitely want a placement swap. I'm not sure about that. I like her better as a raider or a striker. Probably striker, but she's so slow. Oh my goodness, she's so slow. All right, team number 9 is the Eternals with Marauders. I think this is a waste of your Marauders. I think that anything that comes in to beat this team is going to blow up your Marauder team. Like, I would just come into this with Eternals, Loki, and Emma, and I'd nuke this team. And it was totally inconsequential who you had in here. They're dead. So let's take your Marauders off of this team and try something else. Or you know what? Take your Eternals off of this. Just run Marauders, and when you unlock Madeline Pryor in the event that should be running currently as this video plays, you can throw Pryor in here, and now you have Marauders for offense to beat a team like this. So I think it's a big waste of at least one team, and I don't like being wasteful. Also, Strife has to be a fortifier. He has Fortifier built into his kit. He's the linchpin of that team. If you can get through him, you can beat the team. So build him up, build him big, put Fortifier on there. It's a fantastic defense. You know, it's just, you have such a good investment in these two, and you're like halfway there with Strife. You know, take him at least to gear tier 13 or 14 and get that Fortifier ISO on him. He's very important. He makes a huge difference to the Marauder team, especially when you're running Mystique and Pryor in there also. So that's some thoughts for you. I just think it's a big waste of your Marauder team, because I'm gonna nuke it with my Eternals. I'm gonna go with a C+ on that. That's pretty wasteful. You have the wrong ISO there, and then we're gonna be switching her over to a skirmisher on the Pryor team. Team number 10 is your new Warriors with Surfer and Loki. Loki's giving some members of this team some speed. He's also placing a defense down. I don't believe CharlieElderado was in a defense down adjacent room, so there's no trickery going with like adding a Kestrel onto this team or anything like that. Let's see, 2x2. You got the vulnerables and the strikers and all that stuff, so we're good there. You're gonna have plenty of vulnerables actually for Surfer to work on, so I like this build. You've got him as a fortifier to account for his low health. There's nothing wrong with this. I think it's a pretty decent team. If you were to take your Eternals off of this team, I think that you should pull Loki off of this team to go with them for certain offensive builds to go nuke other people's Eternal teams. But as is, I think it's a highly functional, highly powerful defense. No problems with it. I think it's pretty good. I can give you an A for that team and that placement. All right, this is CharlieElderado's Defense Up video. If you like what you saw, hit that like button, subscribe for more videos, and remember, guys, don't just have a good game. Be good to yourselves and others too, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.